What's up, everybody? It's your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. Hey, thank you for being here. Drop your city and state. Get your pen and paper out. If you love the channel, you like the information, drop a super chat, drop a cash app, support the channel. Okay. I love when y'all be like, Erica, you late? I ain't late. I'm on time. Okay. So listen. Some of you have been like, Erica, man, this, you got to get in this Clubhouse, girl. Now, some of you do not know, I did already get in the Clubhouse under a particular person's information, okay? And long and the story short, I've seen plenty and I'm good. Reason being, not just because I'm Team Android, but also because there's 48 laws of power, but we'll go over several other books tonight that I think you guys really need to get your pen and paper out and take notes. How many of y'all in the chat have been in a Clubhouse? That was crazy this past weekend. Drop a one in the comments if you were in a Clubhouse this past weekend and it was lit. I'm trying not to throw no names. I don't put nobody's names under the bus. I don't have time. I don't want to get that smoke. I don't want it. I'm just telling you. If you was in a Clubhouse this weekend and it was a Clubhouse cap house, put a one in the comments just because I know. You know what I'm saying? I know some things and you know some things and we're going to go over it, okay? Because I want to protect you and your future business from being out here wanting to be seen. Now, if everybody hasn't, check the emails out. There is a great opportunity to get a real estate and investment development certification from Black Seed Fund Group. We'll be putting that out again later. Also, Mindset Matter Tees. Thank you for the sponsorship. Also, thank you, Annette's Worth. You want to get in the stock market? You want to get there? That's where you need to be, okay? So listen, SNS Consulting said she was there for all 6 hours of drama. Now, let me set this up for y'all. Cap House jumping, okay? Cap House was jumping. Hit the like button. There are, and I'm going to pull out these 3 books, and there's other ones I can give y'all, but this is just for the sake of the argument, okay? So y'all ready? This is the best one you'll need. All marketers are liars. The power of telling authentic stories in a low trust world. Now listen, if you don't get nothing else from me tonight, look at this again. I'm gonna do it up again because somebody's gonna say, what was the book? You talk too fast. All marketers are liars. The power of telling authentic stories in a low trust world. We are living in a low trust world, people. Okay? All right. Next one, 4-hour work week, the updated version, expanded, updated. Okay. You need that. And you need this more than ever because some of y'all don't know how to act. Excuse me, my nephew drew all over the front of the book, but it's still good. 100 Ways to Motivate Others by Scott Richmond and Steve Chandler. Ooh, now number 27. Whoops, I done dropped one of my books. Number 27 this is in 100 Ways to Motivate People. Stop talking. One measure of leadership is the caliber of people who you choose to follow. I'm going to read that again. Stop talking. They get uncomfortable asking a lot of questions, so they quickly start talking about the history of the company, the history of this and that. Don't do that, okay? Another one is number 39, debate yourself. I am more afraid of an army of 100 sheep led by a lion than an army of 100 lions led by a sheep. Please tell me y'all understood that. Please tell me y'all understood that. Now I'm gonna read it one more time. And this is what be happening in the cap house, that y'all don't understand the mentality of people. And someone who does a great talks of this, Diamond Dave, again, I'll recommend him multiple times. Like, I don't live in a vacuum. There's other people I listen to, other people I interact with. We'll be reading him on the channel when we get that set up. But I want you to hear it again. I am more afraid of an army of 100 sheep led by a lion than an army of 100 lions led by a sheep. Does anybody get that? Okay, because what ends up happening is you guys are going into people's space where there's 100 sheep, no disrespect, and coming for the lion. You're coming for the wrong person. Do you understand? I'm not afraid of a guy with 100 lions running behind him and he's just a sheep. Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? I really want y'all to get this. If nobody else gets this, I had a long conversation earlier with somebody today that if you look at the rage mob, people are angry and it's a low trust world. So they will run around getting everybody angry at things, cop shootings, stuff happening on Facebook, stuff happening in the Clubhouse. Is a dangerous, slippery slope for you to be in the Clubhouse in someone else's space with their followers in there and you coming for them. Don't do that. Now, I'm going to tell you already why Clubhouse is backwards. There's a few more in here I want to show y'all, but number 56 in 100 ways to motivate people. Give up being right. I must follow the people. Am I not their leader? One of the things that happens with a lot of people who we've worked with over the years is when they get promoted to management position, they feel very important and that everybody sees that they know what they're doing. Okay? I hope this is getting y'all up in here. I hope y'all are getting what I'm saying. Number 56, give up being right. A really strong motivational leader who is admired and respected is one who does not have to be right about everything. I ain't even got to be right if I'm leading right now. I'm learning. I'm getting better. I don't know everything. I've worked in a lot of different companies. I've worked in a lot of different spaces, but I don't know everything. Okay, and what ends up happening in the cap house, oh, I know everything. I've been everywhere. I've done everything. No, I don't like that. Don't do that. You already going against 48 laws of power. You're going against all kind of stuff. Another one, number 58, always show them. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. Confucius. Okay? A lot of great sports players get promoted to coach, but it doesn't work. Come on. Don't work. Okay? There's a reason. Reason it doesn't work is they're not totally conscious of what makes them a great player. Some of these people out here have winning YouTube channels and they don't know why they have a winning YouTube channel. It's never even been about them. Do you understand? Okay? A lot of times it's subconscious. It's who you are. It's your vibe. It's your look. It's who you are. Okay? That's why players don't always make great coaches. Okay? Listen. There's so many things in here I could just... but I don't want to bore y'all to death. Listen to this. One more time. 31. Stop coddling up. I never gave them hell. I just told them the truth and they think it's hell. Harry Truman. Let me tell y'all one more time. Stop coddling people. I never gave them hell. I just tell them the truth and they think it's hell. Do you guys understand what I'm saying here? A lot of times we're out here on social media telling people the truth and they're like, you are horrible. You're a scoundrel. You're terrible. Okay. Now let me go ahead and say this one more. This is my last one. I'm going to put this book down. I don't want to bore y'all to death. Okay. I don't want to bore y'all to death, but thank y'all. Okay. Do the worst first. Number 32. The best way out is always through. The number one thing people ask leaders is, how do you motivate others when you have poor time management? Keep going. You don't know everything. You will not fix everything. Know people's strengths. Know their weaknesses. There's so much I could go in here and go over, but I ain't gonna bore y'all to death, okay? All marketers are liars. Power of telling authentic stories in a low trust world. Okay. Make sure I order that book. I don't even listen. People come on here and be like, Erica, you don't put your affiliate links up. I don't need it. There's lots of opportunities for me to make money. I don't have to squeeze every dollar dry, every penny out of the crack of everybody's butt. That's ridiculous. Now, let me go ahead and tell you why. Because you'll be like, okay, Erica, back to the show. The reason why Clubhouse is dangerous, because there is a level of thin, but not deep, mysticism to you in your time and your space. Now, if we're all out here busy entrepreneurs living our busy lives and doing things we are doing, okay, as busy people, if I'm spending 6 to 7 to 8, 9, 10 hours on the phone with you capping, then guess what I've just done? I've demystified the fact that I am not a busy person. I do not have this luxurious life. I do not have this wife and kids and party and boats and stuff that I don't have time to be bothered with you. Right? That is the number one rule they're breaking. The number one rule you're breaking is giving this thin air of mysticism to you. This thin air of separation. What makes you so different from me, right? Because if I'm following you and you on Cap House for 8 hours, well, why would I do that? Why would I follow you? What about you is appropriate? What about you is right? Okay? So I'm going to just tell you that part of the business model has already got it messed up. It's got it twisted, got the game twisted. Okay? No exclusivity. There you go. You're not exclusive. Why would I pay to go to your conference next year? Why would I pay to go to your mastermind? I done heard it all in 8 hours. You done capped me all to it. Okay. Another great book is The 4-Hour Work Week. Reason why is I want to talk about delegation, but I also want to talk about in here in the automation part. Wait, I may be wrong. Hold on. Oh, in the automation part, when it talks about advertising. PPC clicks, the art of indecision. Fewer options equals more revenue. Now, here's why. When I go on certain people's sites and they got 2-3 choices, that's all you have. You choose quicker. You just choose. All right, now I'm gonna go on here and see if I can find it. I don't think I can. I think it's liberation part. I hate it. Anyway, all right, 4-hour work week. But in the book, he talks about one of the ways that the 4-hour work week and he became this massive, international man of mystery that still a ton of people don't even know him or that book, especially business majors. I love running business majors. We're like, who? I'm like, and again, in the span of since 2000 and I'd say 12 to now, a lot more going on. But anyway, one of the things he did to get so big is there were 4 major magazines in a particular space. And let's just say the space is sports magazines or something. ESPN, another sports magazine, and they're the top dogs. Well, your goal to be seen everywhere is to be in those 2 magazines. Point blank period. You get in those 2 magazines, everybody's like, oh my God, you're the big dog, right? But because of social media, because we don't have to beg people to get on TV anymore. We don't have to beg people to get on radio no more. We can just turn on our mic and be podcasting. We can turn on our camera and be YouTube. We can turn on our phone and be capping on Clubhouse all night. We don't have those gatekeepers and those big barriers like we used to. So now that what he talked about in the book 10 years ago still applies to this day. I can go find the top 10 magazines, the top 10 podcasts, the top 10 YouTubers, right? In whatever sphere, if it's sports, whatever it is, and go directly to those people, right? Go directly to those people and get a show. And then they'd be like, man, Erica's everywhere. Erica's on the top 10 magazines in this field. She's on the top 10 podcasts. She's on the top 10 YouTubes. Good gracious. This girl's everywhere. No, I'm not everywhere. I'm just dominating a small, tiny space of the internet. A small, tiny genre, right? And what ends up happening is all these people out here are trying to get a small platform, a small city, small market. The small market could be African Americans who do financially well, tapping into that market, right? Right? It could be, for me, in doing this channel, and still to this day doing this channel was never just to talk to a little bit of African American people and that's all. No, this channel is to talk to anybody who's trying to grow their business, trying to get tax liens, trying to get out there middleman the millions, trying to grow their company and their life. Right? So again, Kingston James is right. You dominate one market and then you expand. Right? That's why you see people here on YouTube who've been on here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Right? You get on those top 10 magazines. Okay, sir, you went ahead and you're blocked for the night. You're good. You get on those top 10 magazines, those top 10 podcasts, those top 10 YouTube channels, and now you've monopolized that. You are the big dog in that pond. But guess what? That runs short. You have people fighting for a very small market share. I don't want to be the queen of Atlanta. I don't want to be the queen of Tampa, queen of Florida, queen of DC, queen of VA. I don't want to be that. Those are small markets. Okay. The majority of my marketing is for Houston, Texas, Dallas, Texas. Why? Because so many people are moving here every day. They have a spirit for hunger. They have a spirit for growth. They're ready to grow. They're ready to take on a monster because they're here and they're like, yes, yes. Right? They moved here for a reason, to grow, not to suffer, but to prosper. Now, I'm not saying other cities and states can't do that, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you my number one course and consulting purchasers are out of Sunnyvale, Concord, and Los Angeles, California. Number 2 is New York City, well, New York in general. But number 3 is the DMV area. Number 4 is Ohio, period. Number 5 is Alabama. Number 6 is Orlando, and then Tampa, and then another part of Florida, Southern Florida. And then after that, Texas. Now, you see me make fun of California on this show. You see me make fun of New York on this show. But those people still are number 1 and number 2. Purchasers of the content here, purchasers of those products and services and consulting calls. Why? Because the content is the content. Okay? And what happens when you go on Clubhouse, number 1 reason it's wrong. Let me go ahead and tell you like this. People on YouTube, and I'm gonna put YouTube over. So there's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. There are people right now killing it on Instagram, cannot make headways on YouTube. I've seen it. We've all seen it. There are people on Facebook. They all up and down every Facebook. They in there with huge Facebook groups, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 people in their Facebook group. They cannot make a dent on YouTube. They cannot make a dent on Instagram. And then here's people on YouTube just killing it. But YouTube is the strongest of all those 3. I know people say, Erica, that's your opinion. No, it's a fact. YouTube has way more multimillionaires created than Facebook. Point blank period. Now, you got a lot of people making great money with Facebook groups. They selling products off Facebook. They doing great. But really, it goes in this order. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is creating millionaires because people will go over to, they see a picture, they like the picture, they'll click. You even have people now who share pictures of Instagram hotels, and they won't tell you the hotel. You have to go to their website, click on the picture, and then you find out. Okay? So there's a lot of the MLM groups who are all over Facebook, and finally now starting years later to try to convert to come over here to YouTube and Instagram. I've seen a guy who has 50,000 people. He has 23,000 people following his Facebook page with him and his wife. He has at least 20 people in his Facebook group, 20,000 people in the Facebook group. And then he has 1,000 followers on Instagram. So what does that tell you? He's not converting there. Nobody's going over there. His audience is older and stay on Facebook. But what it also tells me is if there is no way for him to get them off that platform, if they're not on his email list, they ain't buying nothing. They're just following and watching. Okay, so the why Clubhouse long-term won't work, why it'll be like Meerkat, why it's not going to be this great big thing that y'all think it's going to be, and why the fear of missing out is what's really driving it more than other things. People want to feel like they're in proximity to people who are big dogs. Like, we in proximity, yo, we in the club, we over here, and they're not in proximity, right? And when you sit there for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours with them, you just told them, hey, we both sitting at home doing nothing. Yeah, I'm here doing nothing. You at home doing nothing. Yeah. No. No, we got to have a life. That's too much. Now, the premise is backwards and I'm going to talk about the 3 examples of people's businesses that is burning up. But the premise is, when I have this platform and you come Google, search, and all this stuff, you've come and found me. I'm your cup of tea. I'm your curly hair girl that's talking about business. Cool, great. Thank you, Erica. I like it. But if I go over here into Sheila's Clubhouse, and Sheila is a straight long hair blonde woman, and they're talking about being stay-at-home moms who have side businesses, and I come in there like kicking in the door, like, hey, I'm Erica Curly Hair. We're going to do it this way. You've already reached a wall of resistance. That's not your audience. That's not who's looking for you on the internet. So you've already gone in trying to go into a market of resistance. Okay, does that make sense? I hope you understand what I'm saying. a market of resistance, and then now you're trying to convince them by overcapping. Okay, now you got to overcap to get over everybody in the room. So now you telling everybody in the room, there's a funny clip on Instagram where the girl's like, I'm a scuba diver, a flight attendant, a this and that, and a sandwich maker. And it's just funny because we're not experts in everything. If anything, we'll dominate one or two things really well. I do well in 2 businesses. My other ones, there's other people really being the head runner of those businesses. Okay, right? Even in, hobbies, right? I got a motorcycle. I'm barely doing what I can do on it, right? It's a moped almost, not even a full motorcycle. I'm taking private pilot classes, but I ain't doing that much. You know what I'm saying? It's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. And so what people have to understand is you're going into somebody else's fishbowl and telling their audience how great you are. I know that's loud. I'm sorry. And that doesn't work. There's a level of seductive inbound marketing that you need to work on. Now, what is an example of seductive inbound marketing? And if you're in the Rise 20% and the YouTube class, we're going to go deep dives inside marketing. This is like an overview in here. Inbound seductive marketing is the cars, the nice women, the guns, the beach houses, the traveling, the vacation, the luxurious living, right? But already 2020 stole some of that from y'all. You're not out here every weekend on a plane. You're not out here on every island hopping. You're not out here doing everything. What you did notice last year is all these people that usually go to Canada, they go to all these places, they were stuck going to Cancun, Cabo, Tulum, Mexico, and Utah. That's where they were at, and Vermont. That's it. Every Instagrammer that was Instagram popping was in those 5 places, and that's it. Because they were restricted. Okay? Restricted. So what ends up happening is you're going into marketing all backwards. Marketing that most people want to come to is seductive. It is inbound. You've came to me. You watched 100 of my videos. Now you're convinced of whatever reason you watched me, and you're going to work and do business with me. Right? That's how that works. So now you're trying to go hostile into other people's markets. That doesn't work. Right? So I have some ads running, and they're literally running on top of somebody's channel. Like 4 or 5 people, like I'm running every video that person plays, as much money as my money can play, it will run on their channel, no matter the person, no matter who's watching it, right? Because I'm trying to get some of that market share. It's a bigger platform, bigger channel. He's out of Las Vegas. There's a reason I'm doing it, okay? And that's a type of marketing because we're eventually they're gonna, every time they're watch his channel, hi, I'm Erica Williams, Classic Glam Blog. Hey, I'm Erica Williams, Classic Glam Blog. Eventually they'll be like, who is this bitch? Who is she? I don't like her. They're either gonna feel a good way or a bad way about me by the time they've seen my ad a bunch of times. And I just want y'all to understand that's not how we do marketing, even in our natural of everyday life. Everyday life, no one likes noise and negativity unless they have had trauma happen to them. And I'm treading light, right? Every once in a while people watch people who are wild and silly and do traumatic stuff, but after a while you're like, okay, girl, that's fun, but you don't come to their house. You don't bring them to your house. You don't bring them around your man, your whoever. You funny, but you ain't coming around my life, right? That's the thing. We like it in small doses, but not in reality. So when people are out here listening for hours, one, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're on YouTube listening negativity for hours, woo, pray for you. Number 2, if you're out here in these clubhouses 6, 7, 8, 9 hours going to 5 a.m. in the morning, baby, whoa, what are we doing? The misery loves company. Okay. Okay. So look, listen, and here's, I know somebody's gonna do this. Because I'm going to break it down why you did this, okay? And I'm not going to make fun of you. I'm just going to say, she said, maybe some of you are going into the wrong rooms. Clubhouse has been cool for me. Connected with and learning from great people, not the loud, hype internet marketer types. I'm not going to make fun of you, but I'm just going to break it down. When you make a decision that you like something, you made it say, I like it, I enjoy it, great. If I come to you and say, hey, that's no good, that's not good, you're immediately defensive, right? Immediately defensive. You're like, because you don't want to hear that. Now, you may be right. There may be some great rooms with conversation. You know, who is that saying such things? Right? You may be saying that, but what ends up happening is people get very angry when you attack their brain, what they've decided is a good thing for them. So no shade. I don't take any shade in it. I get what you're saying. I'm glad it's great for you. There you go. And one. Okay. So again, cognitive dissonance. Yes. Yes, they're doing it for free $3.99. They're in there because here's why most people do. Most people will go, hey, this is a great opportunity to market my business. I'm going to go over here and market my business for free. But again, I just told you why that doesn't work and how you're going in somebody else's fishbowl, marketing to their audience. You're already going to meet resistance. Now, let's go ahead and go over why, some people already probably left the channel. It's 400 people in here. Make sure you hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Help the girl out. Skynet. First things first, if you are going to, be careful here. If you're going to start a new life, new you, boo, do you move? Most people, I'm going to just make a joke. Most people sometimes will be acting up in their hometown, maybe being promiscuous in their hometown, maybe not having a good reputation in their hometown. And it is time for them to pick up and leave that town because they have ruined their name. And they go to a new town and they start a new life and they go to a new church. And they get a new husband and they do all these new things because they're in another town with a new life. See, social media has made some of that disappear, right? You know, Becky that moved over there 2 towns over. Girl, I found her on Facebook. I found she got a husband. You know what I mean? It's shortened that span of space, right? You can only cap so hard because I know where you at. I know you're from town, right? You may be new over there, but you ain't new over here kind of thing, right? And the problem with that is there was a young lady who went on Clubhouse, new life, new business, making money. And because some people were mad, they just, and this is the whole miserable people. You have a miserable batch of people on the internet. You got trolls. They call them trolls for a reason. Digging up her past, showing she did porn, showing her husband was in trouble for fraud, doing all these things that, if it wasn't for social media, you know what I'm saying? Like, she could have went on about her life and nobody would have known those things. And that's why you have to be careful going into these spaces where people have a lot of time on their hands. They have time to sit there for 4 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to go head straight to the computer and start Googling you. And not because they're productive people, because they're emotional people. Please don't confuse the two. Sometimes you have emotional people who are, again, the sheep behind the lion. They're emotional. They'll attack that person because you said attack that person. Not because they did deep thought, not because they did deep research, but because you said so. So this poor woman has not been seen on social media, and some of y'all not can let me know if you've seen her. You know who I'm talking to here in the audience. Has not been seen on social media for days or weeks. A couple days now, because Clubhouse. A couple days. But I have a feeling you probably won't see her for several weeks. She'll probably have very generic posts where she's not engaging her personal self, because imagine that. Imagine starting a new life, doing a new thing. You done went out here, built a business, made a lot of money. And because someone's little bitter trollish self decided to comb through the deeps of the internet, trying to find dirt on you, they finding some 20-year-old freak neat video. I don't know. That's the nature of some of these people online. And this is why you got to get out of some of these small markets. Is it worth selling your $20 ebook to people who are that devious and trashy? Do you see what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not going to go there because, listen, I can't even say certain things because there are people who, if I say their name, I will get hell from their audience. And so I don't got time for it. SNS consultant, I don't think she's coming back. I pray nothing goes wrong with her, nothing, she doesn't hurt herself or anything like that. I don't think she will because she got a kid. But people do that. People do that. Emotional stalkers. I'm telling you. Listen. At home all day. Okay. So what's the other thing somebody said in here? I want to read it. Xanatos close. That's why it's imperative for very successful people who are raised in trash environments to leave said environments and keep and have no affiliation, physical or digital, with their former town. Listen to me. I know a guy who got acquitted for murder. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. It was a fight. It was what it was. It was a fight. He won the fight. Man hits his head on the curb, dies. They go to court and all this stuff. They see the cameras from the bar. You know, Fayetteville, North Carolina got good cameras, okay? They gon' because it's a little hood out there sometimes. And the police were like, nah, I mean, we're gonna put you on probation for a year, but really that was just a bad fall. You punched him, he fell back. It wasn't, you were defending yourself. The man was taller, bigger than you, stronger than you. And he went on about his life and moved to a new town. And to this day, there are people on Facebook like, well, you know, he killed that man, right? Girl, the news showed the camera video. It was an accident. To this day, and this brother has gone on all the way over to the West Coast. I'm not gonna say the state. He's already gone on the West Coast. He done married a very nice Becky Vanessa, whatever you want to call her. He done had as a business out there. I mean, nice living well, but there are still trolls in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Like, well, you know, he killed that man. You know, he killed that man. This man, that's been 12, what? That's been 14 years. 14 years. 14 years. So I'm not saying that's a extreme case, and I get it. Y'all are like, Ergo, we killed a man. But that's just it. This man has been acquitted by the law, had probation, make sure no fights on nothing else for the rest of the year. Moved all the way, at least 23 hours away from the state of North Carolina, started a new life, done got married, got a business out there, like nice car, nice house, and there's still scoundrels talking about him from something that happened 14 years ago. And so this is why it's imperative for sometimes you to pick up and physically leave a place and go to a whole new place. But you also need to do that on the internet. Do you hear me? You need to get up off some of these spaces completely. Okay? Completely. And go away from there. So YouTube pays pretty well. Void of the rat race doing people. Yes, YouTube can pay well. Any of these, you know, if you go into the thing we talk about sometimes in the class, it's called the long tail or 1,000 true fans. I brought up Ryan Leslie for many years. He's the true definition of this. If Ryan Leslie every year can find 100 people who want to pay $800 to come to a castle and party on New Year's Eve with him for the next 20 years, I don't care if he releases another rap album his whole life, because he has 1,000 true fans that are willing to pay $800 to go party in a castle with him in Europe. You know, you can go back 1940s. What's her name? I'm thinking of, the dance with the bananas. Oh gosh, that was naked, topless. But anyway, famous black woman, stayed in France the rest of her life, lived in castles, sang overseas. You have 1,000 fans who are willing to pay and see that. You can get that. Even the recent movie where they just had about the woman who died. She was a star of Hollywood. Oh my God, I'm having a bad night. Julie, she played in Somewhere Over the Rainbow was her most famous song. Somebody help me out on the internet. Over the Rainbow was her most famous song. She played in Wizard of Oz, the original white lady. So long story short, till the day she died, people were paying to see her sing songs. And her voice was gone. She was on drugs, you know, all these things, because that's the power of 1,000 true fans. Julie Garland. Thank you. Julie Garland. My friend who's a diehard fan of her would be so sad. Julie Garland, okay? To the day she died. Josephine Baker. To the day they died. Literally singing to the day they died. Okay? All these people. Okay? And the reason why is because you cannot change, and OnlyFans is true that you cannot change someone's decision making. If someone has decided
I rock with Julie Gardner. I don't care if her voice is gone and she's half drunk on stage. I'm gonna pay to see it. This is why you go see Stevie Wonder, which Stevie Wonder still does an amazing concert. Okay, Lionel Richie as well. I will pay to see Lionel Richie again. But you will pay to see them even when they're 80, 90 years old, not stepping, not dancing, but still the nostalgia for that that person is there, right? And so this is where this comes from, okay? Right? And so this the whole rule of the 1,000 fans, you know, is if you have every year 3 new people that rock with you a day for a year, let's say you just have 1,000 new people a year and they all pay $100, you'd have made $100,000. Depending on how many years you can do that, you'll have a great life. And you keep managing your money. Don't let it manage you. If you have 1,000 people every year pay $500 to deal with you, that's $500,000. You can live really well when you start knowing the numbers on some of this stuff. And this is how you know when you see somebody in California and they really doing it big, they really making YouTube money. Okay, they're really making Instagram money. They're really making sponsorship money. Because before the pandemic, Walmart and Target was paying people $50,000 for posts on Instagram. So when you start seeing some of these couples, these YouTube couples that were on Target ads and on Instagram ads and Dove soap ads, Belief in Fatherhood, all these people, you start seeing it in real life, you know it's real, okay? YouTube pays well, but you have to have an end goal. You can't make it a long-term doing trashy content. You can't even make it short-term doing constant content. Because you have angry people. That's why I shared Diamond Dave's video. You have miserable people, angry people who have no goals. I will never wife. I will never have children. I'm just going to sit here and eat chili. You're attracting miserable people to you. There's no growth there. It'll stay a pot of bitter cauldron for years to come. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. Right? It doesn't work. Okay? Ryan Leslie is very intelligent. I'm not taking anything from him. I'm just saying he had that blueprint early on, kind of just like 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss did. Oh, listen, Kingston James. I know a man right now who had creepy texts to women. He was, I'm trying to be careful so you don't know who I'm talking about, but he basically threatened his assistant with some kind of sexual assault. And people were outing the information like, hey, this boy's a creeper. He goes away for 6 months, takes all his pages down, takes everything down, starts a new page, and just starts posting business quotes for a year. This man has completely redeemed himself. I've actually talked to other Black men about this man, and they're like, well, Erica, you know, sometimes you text things you don't mean. You know what I'm saying? You know, you say the wrong things, you know. And I'm like, no, I don't know. I don't know about texting people craziness in the middle of the night. I don't know about texting people threatening things. I don't know about that. That's not my DNA. In my day, we called those people creepsters. And if you had a brother, they knocked you in the face. But I mean, you know, you can literally go away for 6 months, come back out with new stuff and try something new. I mean, I have a guy right now, I know, working with him. He had something very popular. People saw him all the time. He took it all down because it failed and he started a new thing. And nobody even talks about the old thing because all they know from marketing is the new thing. People who don't grow, don't want people around them that grow, or anyone for that. This is facts. Again, there's an old saying, and I'm gonna be careful. And I always preface this with I have 6 uncles, all married, long-term, military men, cops. I have over 20 blood cousins. I always try to clarify this so y'all know where I'm coming with this perspective. Trying to be careful here. I don't know if I should say that. I'll take that part back. I'll take that back. I won't say it. I know what I want to say, but I ain't gonna say it. I don't have time for the hate tonight. The internet will find you. Small cities love gossip. Oh yeah. I mean, people use Instagram to hook up. I know several fitness girls who have found husbands, and all of a sudden their content is now Christian. I'm getting married and I'm having a baby. They've completely changed their content. So, I mean, this is nothing new. This happens. People are looking for a way to market themselves. Listen, Clubhouse already exposed certain folks in Atlanta this past week who were previously convicts, now stepping it up with that white collar crime. Again, You cannot. Oh, there's so many things I want to say, but I'm trying to be good. If you're gonna be dirty or do dirty work, you got to be quiet. You have to be quiet. You have to. There are people I know right now who's raised $10 million, and I never knew it. He literally just went around to clubs and associations. He don't got no Instagram. He ain't got no Facebook. He ain't marketing online. They do have a LinkedIn and they do have a business website, and that's it. That's it. He's going off of the me and you personal belly to belly business, and that still works everywhere. That still works everywhere. It just does, because it does, right? Someone who you do a personal business with, they're going to be more lenient with you. They're not going to be like a bank. They're not going to break your ankles, but it means you have to be even more cherishing of the relationship, right? I can even go one step further. American Greed has a blonde white woman who's gone to like 10 different towns and talked about all the famous people she knows and raised millions of dollars. I think it was like $400 million, and hasn't produced a damn thing. And all these people just kept signing up to give her money. And it was like, what? And again, because people go off energy, belly to belly, all that stuff. Xander, because this is why I'm not planning on moving back to the city I was raised in, even if it's a black mecca, or at least not to the scum people I was raised around or 6 feet under. See, and Xanatos Plush, that's, you know what ends up happening? People retire back home. Like you always hear, you hear people, I'm here in Texas, and so many people are like, oh, I'm from California, but I'll retire back there. How, baby? What money are you making? Oh, I'm going to go back to Arkansas and retire there. I'm going to go back to South Carolina. I'm going to go back to Florida. I'm going to go back. If you're going to spend 40 years of your life here in Texas, and your children are going to start having children and going to college, you're going to stay here. I mean, there may be some that go back because the town where they're from is cheaper. But in general, there's some people that move, but when they move, they got to be in their 50s. It's rare to see people 70 years old like, yeah, I'm going back now, which I've seen, but it's usually out of economic desperation, right? I was in DC in an Uber, and the woman was talking about how her friend wouldn't let her live with her. She got this big old house in DC, and she wouldn't let me live with her. So I'm living with my daughter, and I don't got no money. I'm just Ubering, and I'm gonna go back to Rocky Mount, South Carolina, North Carolina. And I said, well, why are you going back there? Oh, well, my mom and her people from there, and it's cheap, and I can rent a place for $400 there, and I know those family down there will let me stay. This woman is in DC Ubering, complaining in an Uber to someone she does not know. She's in one of the best cities in America to get a top-notch job with skills, computer skills, and do work. And she is complaining, and her first instinct is to run back to a town where her mother is already deceased because this woman is in her 60s. Her mother's gone. She already said her mother was gone. She's going to move back to a town where she's got cousins in Rocky Mount, North Carolina that she don't actively see to live there because you know you can get $400 rent. Y'all, that's a bad life plan. But that is what people will be doing in 2021 and 2022. Because I already told y'all on this channel, there are millions of people who left New York, California, all these places. When California don't have red carpets and you can't see stars just walking out and about, why are you there? Especially if you don't have a high-paying job. Why are you there? Well, the weather, Erica, the weather is so nice. And I just love the weather. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't eating out. So you sitting in the weather in your backyard. Got you. Cool. So, I mean, I hear what you're saying, but yeah, I've heard this for sure. Tyler Bennett, he out in the middle of Utah. Okay. What else was he there? Okay. Come on. There's black people out there, allegedly. But you know what I'm saying? For sure. Listen, I can't say nothing about Atlanta. I'm banned from the city. Listen, that lady from Clubhouse is sticking to Instagram these days and trying to switch up her PR game. I've already told y'all. If somebody starts attacking you and your brand, you dig deep. You post. You start running ads. You start going on about your life. Because what ends up happening is eventually people forget. It's hot right now, but people forget. And most people who are in Clubhouse capping, or they're coming for you, or they mad with you because somebody told them to be mad, they weren't going to spend no money with you no way. Right? They weren't going to spend no money with you no way. So why are you even upset about that? You're looking for internet validation. I don't want you. Listen, what I tell you on this channel, I'm here to sell things and sell products and talk to people on the phone and help people that I can't help. But I'm here to make money. And if it didn't make money, I wouldn't be here. And two, you liking me is a bonus. Because guess what? I could go down the street and see somebody like, I don't like her. I don't know her. So you liking me is a bonus, but it don't make me jump up in the morning like, boy, I can't wait to get on YouTube to hear those comments where people like me. No, we actively every day delete about 50 to 100 comments. People call me fat, black, this, that, fake hair, all kind of stuff. You cannot come on here for validation. You will have your feelings hurt. You will have all your feelings hurt. You don't have none left. Oh goodness, I'm missing it. This thing is moving up and down. So I think, yeah, it's called Rocky Mountain, but it's not. It's actually where black people live. It's not that. It's not that, great. I just think of mobile home pigs, and it's actually not. It's actually a city somewhat, but it is what it is. Shan for G. That's what I'm telling you. When people want to leave somewhere and come south, I go, what skills are you bringing? If you're not going to be on the computer making DC money, okay, Maryland money, Virginia, Northern Virginia money, you down here and you're going to be with a bad attitude. There's a couple I love. They talked about living in Cary and how some of the people are nasty attitudes. I'm like, first of all, Cary ain't even North Carolina. Cary is absolutely full for the past 20 years with people from New York and Pennsylvania because the company restructured and brought them down there. The whole city. Like, you'll meet people to this day in Cary. Oh no, I'm from New York. I'm from New York. I'm from New York. I'm from New York. So the attitudes you're dealing with aren't even North Carolina attitudes. Lavender should get help better, getting help from strangers. Yeah. I mean, because I'm just tell you right now, I'm living in North Carolina. When I lived in North Carolina, we would have family members that like, hey, I'm Judy, somebody's son. We'd be like, who? And our grandma would be like, well, we're going to help him because that's sad. Nobody want to help him up there. You'd be like, Grandma, there's a reason. There's a reason he has run back down here from the north to be here because nobody else will put up with it. And now that my grandma is gone, half our aunts are like, oh, baby, I wish you well. I don't know you. I don't know who he is. Okay. I don't know you. And that's part of the problem with South Carolina right now. South Carolina has cousins in the north, New York and other places, selling land that they don't know impacts other family members because they don't live down there no more. They don't know those people. Thank you. I'm just trying. Hey, listen, I went to college at East Carolina University. I know, watch out. 252 was a number. It was a party. But that's why all those people live there because ain't nothing else around any of the towns but farms around there. Ain't nothing down there. She way too old to be a lot of things. Flower Child, where are you leaving when you leave North Carolina? It may be a great concept. I'm just letting you know, in the grand scheme of things, I'm not going to be on the phone with people for 8 hours. So, you know what I mean? I'm just not. It just ain't going to be that way. I want to have a life too. Okay? Oh, gosh. Let me see. I missed some stuff, but it's not on purpose. I'm not doing it on purpose, y'all. This is true. Yeah. People, doing inflammatory things. Reinventing yourself. Madonna does it all the time. Yeah. Every time, I'm going to tell you this right now. I know a woman from our hometown, and I've actually kept up with her on the internet just because I'm nosy. I'm being honest, because I'm nosy. She's been married 4 times and has 4 children from all 4 marriages. And every time when I hear these things like men won't marry women who are having these children, and I'm like, okay. I followed this woman since I was 16 years old on the internet. Well, we weren't checking on the internet then, but you know what I'm saying, MySpace and then Facebook and all that stuff. And every couple of years she get a new one. She get a new husband. I think this last husband is gonna be the last one. He's been there about 10 years now, so I think he's gonna stay. And the last 2 kids are his, but she's had 6 kids. So when people tell me men won't marry single moms, men won't do this is not true. Live life. Actually, go out your house. Go out your house, people. Come on. This just isn't logical. Gotcha culture. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Jay-Z's 50 plus. Oh, he is. Let me see what else. Listen, yeah, there's several people right now marketing text groups, and oh boy, that I'm in, the Angry Therapist. I think he's at 10,000 inside of the. He might be more than that now. It might be closer to 12 because I've been seeing his ads run on Facebook. But they just hit my account the other day, $5, $5.99. Okay, and so $5.99 times 12,000 people. You do the math. You say times 10, but 10,000. But either way, it's great. Listen, unfortunately, Billie Holiday had a very chaotic childhood in life, and it lent to the story. It lent to who she was. Unfortunately, honestly, her singing the Strange Fruit song led to the government just basically hounding her to the day she died, and they had some influence on her hospital care, for sure. But that's how powerful music is. That if you start singing about real life things that are really happening out here in the world, prime example, Rage Against the Machine, any of these people, you start singing about real stuff, oh, you got to go away. So I said Clubhouse is ghetto. But Sterling, but that's my whole point. It doesn't matter. I know people are like, Erica, it's not 6-figure dudes, but that's the point. It doesn't matter because 98% of Americans ain't making 6 figures. You could be like, well, it's 90%. Erica, listen, the average person is making $50,000 to $70,000 a year. A lot are making $30,000 a year. So it don't matter. Imagine being a woman with 4 kids and now you got a husband with $50,000 helping you out. Great day. You are rolling in crap. You excited. 703 money is no joke. The biggest hindrance for me was being raised in the wrong parts of 202 and 301, where I was giving help or wanting more than live in the block. Ooh. I think you're talking about Baltimore, or are you talking about Maryland in general? Venus is Serena dad married a woman with 3 grown kids. I mean, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. Like, I'm not even. Billie Jean didn't do any damage to his brand. Let's be very clear. Billie Jean is all for getting your attention, and he's done well at getting your attention. He's gonna write that book, and y'all gonna buy it. So let's keep it a buck. Billie Jean didn't hurt. Anytime you hear somebody say they hurt in their career, to who? To who? Let me be very clear. If I've already decided to rock with you, give money to you, partake in what you do, you can say anything. Like literally when Donald Trump, and I'm being careful about Donald Trump because I know y'all hate the topic. Donald Trump was not joking when he said he could shoot somebody on 5th Street and still win the presidency, because that's the power of people liking someone so much. To this day, if I bring up Obama didn't do something, Erica, how dare you? Obama was the best black president ever. Well, he was our only, black president. No, Erica, how dare you? He's the best. So that's just how diehard people get in politics and life. If they rock with you, they're putting money in your pocket. I could be like, Erica, I could be like, Mr. Shepard, he shot somebody. Okay. I'm still gonna buy that book. Okay. Right? These rappers, Lil Wayne would say horrible things about dark-skinned black women. People still out there buying the music. Okay. You know what I mean? And so you have these instances happening. It will not stop that person's brand. Diamond Dave did a great video talking about cancel culture doesn't work. I'm gonna post it in the chat because it doesn't. There will still be someone rocking with them. I don't care what you say. Somebody will rock with them. Thank you, Dr. Dix. Is that your real name, Dr. Dix? Thank you. I appreciate it, Dr. Dix, for $5 super chat. Asheville is small and big. It's kind of weird. There is. In Tway, it's very true. I'll be moving when I'm done with school. I can't stand ATL. If you're going to move to NC, Raleigh, Durham, Greensboro are the only places to go. Asheville's a runner-up. I would say Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, and Greensboro. She's spot on, honestly. I mean, I wouldn't even argue for anywhere else. You can see the migrations even in our state. Somebody said, good luck finding $400 rent in Rocky Mountain these days. She'll need to add another $400. They built one of the biggest school sports complexes out there. So it's getting up there too. Cary is very different. People don't understand that. The South is only cheap. I mean, let me put it to you like this. When people say the South isn't cheap, I remember when I first graduated East Carolina, you could get a townhouse in Cary. This is before Cary pop for like $55,000. Same area now is like $300,000. And this is happening all over the United States. This isn't a coincidence, but you could literally. I remember going to school with a girl who was a teacher. Her husband was in the National Guard, not even full-time military. They used a VA loan to get a house that was $80,000. It was closer to 60, but I think it was $80,000. Brick, 1980s, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. He was working on it, doing some nice stuff to it. And they had that house paid off in 5 years. They had the house paid off, paid all their student loans off because it wasn't expensive. You know what I mean? I think he went active maybe one time overseas deployment, full-time pay. I mean, he's one of those people that just do a little bit of weekend gardening and then do some part-time work. One of them men in the South. But at the end of the day, it's like when you get the debt down, and this is something I'm going to say, and I don't mean to be a jerk, but the whole people going like, infinity banking, Erica? Yeah. Well, let's keep it simple. If you have a really cheap house and then you refinance it and take that money and try to pay off all your debt, now you got to spend every paycheck without fail paying down the mortgage. I mean, people are trying to do some cool stuff, but really they're just trying to shuffle money around. So it's silly. It makes no sense. Oh goodness, there's a lot in here. Yeah, his name is Dr. Dix. There's nothing wrong with that. Dr. Dix said it's a great show. Thank you so much. Be careful with those echo chambers. This is the facts, right? Because you can be in a little echo chamber and everybody's rocking with you and you the best and you the best. And now you go in somebody else's room and they're like, you stunk. Get out of here. Scram. And that's the problem with Clubhouse. You're going to somebody else's fish tank and being like, yo, I'm great. And people are like, hey, get out of here. We have one fish in here already. Get out. It doesn't work. It's not the right marketing. If you're in my Rise to 20% class or my YouTube class, I'm going to show y'all some of the marketing I've done and we're doing right now currently, and how the consistency of it is what brings us in the money. Not trying to get everything $3.99. By the end of the exchange, everyone was on Billie Jean's side. His book is going to sell like crazy. Tell them. I mean, this is the thing people don't understand. If you was already rocking with Billie Jean, you're going to buy the book. If you weren't rocking with Billie Jean, but you like the title, you're going to buy the book. That's all. People ready to pull a flintlock. People ready to punch you in your face over there, Obama Fold. Xantos Trust trying to get me in trouble again. Thank you, Xantos Clutch, for the $5 super chat. Thanks for a live stream focused on real talk instead of fantasy gender war. By the way, where would I reach out to you for a business consultation course? I'm gonna put the staff email in here because we had turned off I told them to turn off the consulting calls for like 2 weeks because I was getting tired. But you can just email there. Email staff is in the chat. And we'll make sure it's turned back on either tonight or tomorrow. And y'all just click the link from the Calendly link. But yeah, I just want y'all to understand that, again, for those who came in late, there was 530 people here. Now there's only a little bit because I know y'all dipping in and out trying to hear about Clubhouse because you Clubhouse crackheads. I know you crackheads. I see crackheads when I see them. Oh, the Clubhouse. All marketers are liars. The power of telling authentic stories in a low trust world. Okay. Seth Godin. Okay. Also, 100 ways to motivate others. Stephen Chandler. Okay. My nephew wrote on the book, so give me a break. Okay. Another one. I'm going to hit you with another one. 36. Manage the fundamentals first. Show me a man who cannot bother to do the little things And I'll show you a man who cannot be trusted with the big things. Lawrence D. Bell. Check that out. All right. And then also 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, the expanded version. Don't be cheap and get the cheap version. Get the expanded version because you want to see people who real life, literally, there's a black man right now who I'm going to try really hard, y'all, to get him on the channel. I'm going to try as hard as I can. I really think he would be a great conversation for y'all. Black guy, traveling overseas, living overseas at times, does wholesaling in Raleigh and Fayetteville, North Carolina, and a couple other places, makes enough money from just inbound leads coming onto the website that he'd be living in Mexico. He'd be living overseas. He'd be just doing his own thing. And what you guys have to really get away from is trying to figure out every day and night how to not serve people, how to not have service people and also have employees. A lot of times I'm talking about contractors for a lot of things, but what happens is you guys will, even in the Little Man to Millions course, I'm like, we go over how much it costs to hire people. Sometimes it's like 18 or 20 bucks an hour. So let me clarify too in that. Be careful. Temp agencies make money by basically saying, hey, we'll go recruit all these people and send them to you. You pay me $20 to $30 an hour for that person's time. And then I'll turn around and pay them a check for 18 bucks an hour. So now you paying 30, they're paying that guy 18 to be there, right? Or $12 an hour. I've seen them do that. I've seen them make $25 an hour and they're paying the guy $12 an hour to be there. Okay. And so we'll save you all the trouble. So that company is doing what? All that temporary agency is doing is putting a giant sign out. Hey, we're a temp agency. You ready to get work today? And people flock to it because of what it is. So, I mean, again, people overthink businesses, but if you can get 1 or 2 employees on staff at 12 to 18 bucks an hour, and you just start loading them up with getting leads on the other side of that business, like it's not really hard. Oh, this is funny. He said there are only super tough women, only too tough women when it's in Kevin Samuel's comments, but in real life moments, they meet a woman, they're soft as hell. I mean, here's the thing. Everybody wants love. Everybody wants to be acknowledged. Everybody wants to be serviced. And here's something I noticed. There was a guy at our church who dated this one woman. She's a kid, and she's not struggling by any means. Old girl's she's not an engineer, but she's something in tech. Like she working up in the office somewhere. She's not an engineer though. She make a little bit of money, but not a lot. And she was like, oh, thank you for coming into our lives. And you're just such a value to us. And this guy, who there's nothing wrong with him, is a hero to this woman, right? And some people get off on that. Some people like being the hero to the story. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and be that way. 410 is Be More, 301 is PG and MOC. Thank you so much for clarifying that for me. Dr. Dix. Pause. Asheville lacks diversity. Well, I'm going to say it like this. Asheville ran the black people out a long time ago. And then we started coming back in. But in the 1980s, Asheville was actually dead. Like the factories had closed. Downtown was a ghost town. It was everything you've seen in some of those movies of like dead towns. It was literally that in the 1980s. A series of maybe 12 or 13. You can Google this for yourself. It's nationally known. Many articles about it. 12 or 13 gay men who were business owners in New York came down and were like, we're going to start down here, start anew, and started investing in Asheville. And now Asheville is what you see now. Like, and so that's why you see a huge LGBTQ community there, because they came down to Asheville and invested in it when it was dead and nobody was there and it was just a bunch of abandoned buildings. So listen, cancel culture does not work. Most people still support R. Kelly. This is correct. To this day, R. Kelly could go book a concert tomorrow and people gonna buy it out. You know why? Because they're like, well, I just want to see. I just want to see if he can still sing. You know, I don't support him, but I want to see if he can sing. And this is the truth. This is the truth. And so when you work really hard, and this is why you can't be lazy and do easy, trendy topics when you build your YouTube channel and you build your business. If you're a serious person in any of my classes and we talk about marketing for the next month and a half, the next 6 weeks, and some change, we're doing this so you can build your own platform and build your own leads. Okay. If there are lawn care companies that have been in existence for 20 years, They ain't got any bigger. They ain't got any smaller. They keep a consistent kind of route and keep on going about their day. You can do that forever. Benjamin, see? I mean, I really want to have a Charlotte home. Let me tell you, when I lived in Charlotte for 6 months in the NOTA district, it was crackheads and sketchy, and it was starting to have 1 or 2 Beckys running around, and now you can't even go out there. You can't even go out there. Oh my God, Black Vengeance. Oh my goodness, we would be hurt. Well, Dr. Dix, send a message to the staff email. I'll put it in there again. Let them know I said for you to email me about a show ideal, and we will continue from there. I appreciate you. Brian, you are upset, baby. I see this is right here. We done lost you. Come back to us. Interdependent, yes. Not codependent, interdependent. That's a good word. Oh gosh, there's a lot in here. Oh goodness. Let me see. Oh, there's some more. I'm staying in California waiting for it all to fold so I can pick up access for cheap. You're going to need another 20 years for that, baby, but you can do it. I heard someone say, if you want to talk about junk about you want, just keep putting out quality content and you'll build a tribe. So usually, Demas, what you would usually do is you keep promoting. Like I put together that class, how to fight in a dirty internet world, how to fight clean. There are 4 or 5 people I talk about inside the course who literally got trashed this year. And I just don't want to slander on the YouTube. So I put them inside the course who literally got ran through the coals, through the muck, through the mire, people talking bad about them. And guess what? They still got their house. They still got their cars, and they're still running ads, and they're still doing just fine. Morris Invest is the biggest example I put in that class. In the middle of a lawsuit, in the middle of threatening to go to jail. Biggest YouTube channel ever right now. Literally kept making YouTube videos, people clowning him, negative comments. He keeps on making his YouTube videos. Then he starts talking about stimulus. His channel went from, 13,000 to 300,000 at this point. So again, people are really trying hard. Again, thank you. I appreciate that. In Curtis, I don't think I'm disrespecting single moms at all on this channel. I'm reading people's comments and I'm just talking for the facts. At the end of the day, are you talking to me or are you talking to somebody in the chat? You may be talking to somebody in the chat. Candace, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be up there cutting up in that YouTube class because I done figured out how to put the ad on somebody's channel. Thank you. Yeah. The fact that you have 2 wingmans in Triangle and building another in Chapel Hill knows they're a great reverse migration. Oh yeah. Ben, the reason this is happening is because it happens like this. You have A apartments, B apartments, C apartments. You in your mind, you think, well, honey, we're going to save $100, $200 a month if we move to this cheaper apartment. So now you done moved over here to this cheaper apartment, but if you stay longer than 2-3 years, we increase your rent every year anyway. So you're back at what you would have paid in a luxury apartment. That's why I'm in this complex and it's ghost town empty. And they can't even finish the back part because we can't get people in here because people are like, oh, it's a luxury apartment. And it's at the top price point. It's going to stay empty for a while. And again, this is the email Enrique here. He will get it to me. Here's the thing, Nia Beer, that's been going on for 20 years. It's been 20 years people going to NC. I remember being a kid in kindergarten, first grade, and there was kids in there from New Jersey. There were kids in there from New York with Timberlands on back then, okay? When I was a kid in kindergarten, first grade, second grade. Now, I also was in a military town, so we had all kind of people in there anyway. But lately, it's been a little crazy as far as the people going. You know what I mean? If you were a real estate agent in Charlotte the past 10 years, come on, you've been getting it. Oh my God, I could believe that. Barrage of shenanigans. Thank you for. I saw a meme that said y'all turn Clubhouse into the crack house in a month. It happens. Again, y'all help each other out in the chat. I don't have time to post all these books. Again, all marketers are liars. 100 ways to motivate others. Any of the people who have mods can change anything in the chat if they want to. 4-Hour Work Week Hispanic version. Uh-oh, I started my 10th last month. Congratulations. Knight in shining armor syndrome. Thank you. That's kind of what I'm saying. But he is, so it is what it is. Ray, I will even tell you, I've noticed here on social media, it's a black guy with a suit on and he talks like he has sense. People will flock to him like sugar on anything. Or dress nice, sound great, earn your leisure. Kevin Samuels, several other websites. If you go in there and you notice, if you're a black guy talking, which you got some sense and you're knowledgeable, people will flock to you. And it's because it's not marketed in our culture, unfortunately. Oh, Luther Vandross forever. Oh, yeah. All right, everybody. But yeah, I got to go. 48 Laws of Power is also another book I'm always talking about. But we've been here an hour and 12 minutes. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you who are in here. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the cash apps. I appreciate every single body who donated to the channel. We've had 540 people in here tonight. Thank you so much. I try to bring on the good stuff. But again, marketing. Why are they flocking to guys with suits? Because it's not a mainstream thing. It's not marketed in their home. So a lot of people are married to men who are not in blue collar jobs, not white collar. It's a fantasy. You want to have a powerful man in a suit talk to you. I mean, come on now, who don't? Just saying. Okay. So again, listen. Learn from this. We'll be bringing on some great people on the channel. At the end of the day, y'all have to keep marketing your business past some of this nonsense and this noise, but do not get caught in spaces where it's reverse marketing and now you got to keep overproving yourself. Okay? You shouldn't have to do that. That's not normal conversation and that's not normal marketing. Okay? Sorry, you guys. This is your girl, Erica, Classic Clown Blog. Thank you for supporting the channel. Also, if you're in the email list, you should see the code. 50% off coupon is, I think it's new 2021. Is a 50% off coupon. So I'm putting it here, new 2021. Put it in there. You can get it off every single course in there. Every single thing. New 2021. 50% off code. Use it in there. Use it on the platform. All right, you guys. You guys have a great night. Later.